Today we're talking about Draper, Utah. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. Today we're talking about Draper, Utah. If you're new to the channel and want to learn more about Utah cities and communities, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. Draper is actually in both Salt Lake and Utah counties, but today we're specifically talking about the Salt Lake County side of Draper. It's on the southeast corner of Salt Lake County, right tucked up next to the point of the mountain. We're out here in front of Southridge Park, which is one of 35 parks here in Draper, and there's over 80 miles of paved trails and other trails that you can go biking, running, walking on. Draper City is really an outdoor enthusiast community. There's a whole lot of things for the outdoor enthusiasts to do. Right behind me you can see that we're standing in front of the Osborne Trailhead. So I'm out here between subdivisions in Draper, kind of up on the bench, and this is one of the things that makes Draper so awesome and appealing is once you get up here on the bench, you have these fantastic views of the Salt Lake Valley, and they just go on, and it is incredibly beautiful up here. So when it comes to the cost of living, Draper is actually quite a bit higher for the median home price compared to the state. The state of Utah median home price is $312,000, while Draper's is $515,000. There's a lot of reasons for that. Being up here on the bench, some of the houses are sitting on large estate lots and have a lot of square footage, but even down into the valley section, they're usually on pretty big lots. They don't have a lot of low-income housing, and even though there's still a handful of building lots scattered throughout the whole city, one of the big problems with Draper is that the cost to build is a lot higher because the city of Draper imposes higher than average impact fees to start building. So if you want to be in Draper, that's something that you should know, is that your impact fees are going to be a little bit higher, so you'll want to take that into consideration when you're meeting with your builder. So when it comes to the housing, there are single family homes, there are duplexes, there's condos, there's even a few apartment complexes. Primarily, a majority of the homes are single family homes, a little bit larger, have more bedrooms and a lot more square footage than what we have in other cities in Utah. In 2018, the city population was just over 48,000 people who lived here. All right, so now I'm standing out in front of Draper Park Middle School to talk about the school systems in Draper City. They are a part of the Canyon School District, and if you were to go and research them, you'd notice that on the website niche.com, it gives the school district a B+ rating, which is really quite good. It's a desirable school district to be a part of, and they have a lot of really good schools here in Draper. So I'm in front of my favorite restaurant in Draper to talk about what the restaurant situation is here. There are 35 sit-down restaurants here in Draper, as well as all of the chain restaurants like Subway, McDonald's, Einstein Bagels. There's pretty much anything you could want here in Draper. You've got Mexican, Chinese, Asian cuisine, all sorts of different types. Behind me is called the Garage Grill. It's my favorite restaurant here in Draper. It's awesome. You go inside, the ambience is great. It's kind of a race car theme. The owner of the restaurant is also the owner of the Salt Flat Brewery here in Salt Lake City, and he's a retired race car driver. So you go into the restaurant and they've got race cars or sports cars that sit around the table. Some of the tables are actually under some of the cars, and if you're lucky when you go in, you might get a chance to see the Ford GT, because we all know that's the best supercar. But the food is incredible. They have a Laguna Seca burger that if you come here, get the Laguna Seca. It's the best burger on their menu. And it's my favorite restaurant here in Draper. I'm out here in front of one of the 8 different shopping center strip malls that are here in Draper, and there's all sorts of different things you can find here, from clothes to furniture to restaurants to T-Mobiles and Sprint type phone stores. There's pretty much anything you could need Draper has to offer you. We even have an area that is called Furniture Row that has several furniture stores, but there's also an IKEA and an RC Willey right there. So pretty much anything you could want can be found here in Draper, Utah. So behind me here is the Loveland Living Planet Aquarium, and this is a really cool aquarium here in Draper that has all sorts of fish and other animals. My favorite's the penguins, but they've got sharks. It's a pretty cool place. Next to me, one of the noticeable things in Draper as you're driving along I-15, you often will hear people comment about the big claw that's behind me. And now what that was actually a part of U2 the band's 360 tour about 10 years ago. I was a part of their stage set, and the aquarium here has bought it and has turned it into a kind of an interactive part of the aquarium. It's not completed yet, and it's also going to have an amphitheater as a part of it, but that's one of the things that we get asked a lot about when people coming from out of state see it as they drive by. Maybe they're coming from Salt Lake to Utah County, they'll see this big claw and wonder what it is, and that's what it is. And it's really kind of either you love it or you hate it. There's a lot of people who think it's really cool, and there's a lot of people who aren't quite so hot to how it looks, but that's here at the aquarium. A couple other things for you to do with your kids here in Draper. There is a water park called Cowabunga Bay. It's across the freeway from where we are here at the aquarium, and it's got some really cool water slides. It has a nice lazy river, as well as a young kid play area. But the pool is nice and shallow. The water's kept warm there. It has a small little water slide, so your kids who are kind of in the middle that want to go on water slides but can't go off on their own, but you need to stay with your babies. So it's a really nice little water park that's here in Draper as well. If you want to know more about buying or selling a home here in Utah, or you're relocating and want the help of an expert, reach out to us. We love helping people buy and sell real estate in Utah.